Food and nutrition. We get food from animals and plants. Usually, we harvest food in large quantities so that we cannot eat all of it at once. Rotting occurs when bacteria and fungi attack food. Pests such as weevils and rats can also destroy food. Most animal products get bad quickly. Any surplus food has to be stored properly. This storage of food is known as food preservation. Food preservation is the process of storing food properly for a certain period of time to avoid it being spoiled. Preserved food can be used later, especially during the dry season. The main methods of food preservation are traditional methods, modern methods. Traditional methods of preserving food. Traditional methods of preserving food include smoking, salting, drying, using honey, using low temperatures, a charcoal cooler, using ashes. Smoking. This is a method mainly for preserving meat. Examples include beef, mutton, pork, fish. The meat is exposed to smoky fire for some time, which forms a smoke coat that keeps bacteria and fungi away. The process makes the meat stay for longer without going bad. The smoked meat is stored and sealed in a dry container or a polythene bag. Drying. The method is commonly used to preserve foods such as fish, meat, grains, fruits, herbs. Drying the food removes most of the water, and this makes the food stay for long without going bad. Kales or sukuma wiki and other vegetables can also be dried and then crushed and stored for use during dry seasons. Using low temperatures. Foods remain fresh when stored at low temperatures. Fresh milk, for example, may stay for 2 days without going sour if kept cool. The milk should be placed in a bottle and then placed in a container of cold water. A clean cloth, with its ends touching the water, should be used to cover the milk. This cools the milk because the water is sucked up by capillary action, wetting the whole cloth. Charcoal cooler. This is a storage device similar to a refrigerator. It preserves food in areas that do not have electricity. It uses charcoal and water to remain cool. Water drips constantly onto the charcoal, which, being porous, means that it presents a large wetted surface area. This maximizes the evaporation and hence the cooling effect on the cooler and its contents. Using honey. Honey does not allow air and bacteria to reach the food. Fruits and boiled meat can be preserved by coating them with honey. This method can preserve food for many years. Salting. Meat, fish and other foods can be preserved by salting. Using ashes. Ashes preserves food such as peas, beans, green grams, potato tubers. Fresh ashes are mixed with food. Ashes keeps off pests such as ants and weevils. Modern methods of food preservation. The methods include drying, freezing, refrigeration, canning. Drying. It is used by factories to preserve food such as rice, tea leaves, coffee berries. Refrigeration. It keeps food at low temperatures of 0 to 8 degrees Celsius. The following food can be preserved by refrigeration: meat, milk, fish, vegetables, fruits, cooked foods. Hospitals, factories and schools use cold rooms to store large amount of food. Cold rooms keeps food fresh for a longer time. Freezing. This is preserving food under very low temperatures of below 0 degrees. This is done by use of deep freezer found on refrigerators. Foods preserved include meat, vegetables, fruits, cooked food. Before foods are stored in deep freezer, they are sealed in containers or polythene bags to prevent them from being dried out by cold dry air of the freezer. Canning. It is a method mainly used in factories. Some factories in Kenya produce canned beans, meats, fruit juice, jams. During canning, food is heated at high temperatures to kill germs and to remove air, and then put into cans and sealed to keep out of air. Canned food usually go bad after a certain period of time. When buying canned food, we should check expiry date to avoid getting food poisoning. Proper storage of food. Food that is stored properly can stay for a longer period without going bad. Salt, pepper, sugar, tea leaves and coffee should be placed in shelves in kitchen where they can be reached easily. Foods that go bad easily such as milk, fish, meat and cooked food should be kept covered in a refrigerator. If not so, food should be stored for the shortest time possible and should be stored in a cupboard fitted with wire mesh to allow free circulation of air. All stored food should be kept in containers covered with tight-fitting lids and should be well labeled. Dried food such as flour, grains and rice should be kept in containers with tight-fitting lids and placed in a cupboard. Large amount of food and grains such as maize, beans and potatoes should be kept in large plastic containers and kept in a well-ventilated food store. The food store should be raised above the grounds to keep the food dry. It should also be kept clean and protected to keep off flies, rats and cockroaches. Thank you for watching this lesson. We hope you now understand the traditional and modern methods of preserving food as well as the proper storage of food. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and other Genius channels relevant to your level of study.